Hello everyone, and welcome to another pre-game edition of GTHL Hockey in the 6. I'm Jordan Jacklin, joined alongside Jaden Ho as we tee up Game 3 between the Toronto Marlboros and the Mississauga Rebels. Mississauga up 2-0 in the series. It's quite the disaster so far for these Marlies, but they believe they can get back in it. How are they going to do so, starting in the goaltending department?
Well, obviously, goaltending has been a huge storyline over the course of this series. Such a tight Game 2 that ended with a 2-1 score in favor of the Rebels. Jaden Nelson has been so solid, and I think he's the backbone of this Toronto Marlboros team right now. He's been what's holding them in these games so far, but on the other end, Daniel Giusti has been lights out for the Rebels in this series. Just near impossible to beat him. And so for the Marlies to try and get back into this series, it starts with getting early goals on Daniel Giusti. Try and get into his head, try and get into a rhythm, and that's how you're going to start a comeback in this series because their backs are against the wall right now.
And for the Marlies, there haven't been too many standout performers, but number 44, Matthias Stark, has caught your eye.
Well, Matthias Stark is the backbone of this team up front. He's the leader, and he is going to need to lead his team into battle tonight. He's going to need to be on the forefront, leading the offense, contributing defensively for this Marlies team if they want to get back into this series, and he's going to need to be the leader.
And for the Rebels, it was Ethan Chata who really stepped up again. He can really play in all situations, but it's also been a team game, really, in terms of neutralizing the Marlies' offense.
Well, the team defense from the Mississauga Rebels has been fantastic. We talked about Daniel Giusti performing really well, but he wouldn't do that without the superb defense in front of him. They've kept the Marlies to the outside. They've limited their slot shots and their good chances and their high expected goals in this series. And so for the Rebels, just keeping that going, I think they have all the momentum here and they know it. And I think if they can keep playing the way they've been playing in games 1 and 2, they're going to win this series.
Well, the Marlies have their backs against the wall, and let's see if they can find the answer as we get you sent to the ice for warm-up.
Hello everyone and welcome to Westwood Arena. It's Game 3 between the Toronto Marlboros and the Mississauga Rebels. Toronto trying to save their season, down 2-0 in this best of 5. Mississauga trying to book their spot in the GTHL finals, and we're away here as the Rebels win the puck back. And they'll go on to the attack here. Long stretch pass and looking for a breakaway there, but Jaden Nelson hangs on.
And for the Toronto Marlboros here, they're really going to have to rely on goaltender Jaden Nelson just to be that calming presence and really for their offensive weapons to really set themselves apart and be the key difference maker in this Game 3.
William Moore picks it up for Toronto and carries it ahead, and that's sent in deep. And they'll chase after it. Giusti steps out to play it to the corner. Battle along the half wall as Mississauga pushes it back, and they'll try again to clear their zone, and this time they're out with it. Over the line with speed. Drop back, now sent to the corner. Trying to dig it free now, and the Marlies get to it first. Turning away with it is Sabatini. He's checked, lost the puck for a moment, but Gabe Smith bails his partner out. Smith turning behind the net. Backhands it up the boards. Knocked down at the line, and the Marlies still can't clear a chance in front of the goal. Early opportunity for Mississauga there as a puck came free. And now Moore trying to get it out once again, but good start from the Rebels here. Sent down to the corner, turning away from the check. Marlies just can't get things out. Up to the line now. Sent across by Van Gelder, and then back down into the corner. Around the boards it comes again. Down low. Mississauga starting a change. Sent in behind the net. Again, and now a chance in front of the goal, and that pass missed everyone. A long shot from the point. Deflects away from the front of the net. And finally, Toronto gets it out. But it's all the way down the ice. So icing called against Toronto.
And Mississauga's first real shift in the offensive zone is extended just by their cycling ability and also in terms of them being able to win puck battles along the board. The Marlies are going to have to be careful here. They were able to force them to outside the perimeter, but did not allow them within the inner slot.
Delelche sends it up along the right wing, and now the Marlies gain the offensive zone. Behind the net with it is Giusti. Rings it around the boards, trying to get it out to center, and he will. Over the line, onto the attack, the Rebels looking to reestablish that cycle in the offensive zone. Trying to dig this free now. And now Mississauga has it behind the net. Backhand to the front of the goal. And Jaden Nelson with a sharp stop on that one-timer.
And the net has come off its moorings. We know that was a bit of an issue in Game 2, so already got the tracker down. That's 1 to start Game 3. But overall, what an incredible stop by Jaden Nelson, coming just outside his crease into the butterfly position. He's able to stay sharp on that grade A scoring chance by the Rebels.
As the face-off is won back to the line by the Rebels, sent around the boards into the corner, and then back up towards the line, but that evades everyone, and it'll come back out to center. In the neutral zone, Tissier sends it ahead. Now a chance from a sharp angle, but Jaden Nelson slides across and makes the save.
And just swift crease movements from Jaden Nelson overall was able to hunt that down and track it easily. But for the Rebels, they're generating rush opportunities, they're winning cycles. Overall, I've liked their game so far more than this Toronto team.
Marlies will try and respond here, but the Rebels regain possession, trying to send it back up to the line now, and at the point, sent across. Long shot from the line as Turner tried to get that one through, but it was blocked, and now it's cleared out by Toronto. Onto the attack. Here's Witowski with a shot, and that one comes up high, but Juicy hangs on.
Daniel Juicy gets his first real test of the game off a quick rush chance from Kieran Witowski. And just a bit of a floater shot, but nonetheless it draws an offensive zone face-off. Let's see what the William Moore line can do in the offensive zone.
Scramble on the draw, and Mississauga's won the face-off here, cleared to the line. DiCarlo crouching down to get in the way of that, but it's cleared out now. And a break the other way, in alone! Stopped by Jaden Nelson! And a long stretch pass ahead is going to come all the way down for an icing call.
Looks like that was Tristan Delisle that was on the breakaway there, but the defenseman in transition was able to get back. It looks like he actually missed the net on that attempt, but Jaden Nelson is the reason why he made that difficult, coming out of his net and forcing the player in Delisle to go to his backhand. Great work already by number 62.
Face-off one to the line by the Rebels, but they can't hold it in. Offside called, and so we'll have another face-off, this time outside the Marlies zone.
And for the Rebels now, they just want to continue the forced turnovers from this Marlies team, who are real desperate to try to get offense the other way, and they can really exploit that here.
Puck sent up around the boards to Katzen. He couldn't get it out and is forced back in deep. Once again by the Rebels, a chance in front of the goal as that puck came rebounding off the end boards, but Jaden Nelson again reading that play well.
Nelson has kept his team in this game thus far, and for the Marlies, they had that Matthias Stark line out there with Lev Katzen. They need to exit the zone, and they just need to play to their strengths and just try to play with the puck.
Costigan won that face-off ahead into the corner and is carried around the boards. Reverse down low, but it's picked off, and out with it comes Toronto. Turning in the neutral zone with it, and then drop back and fired ahead. It comes down into the Rebels' corner. Stark trying to pinch up, but he couldn't hold it in. And now Mississauga's back onto the attack. Down into the corner. Still trying to dig this free, and it's sent around the boards. Turner chose not to step up at the line, and now Katzen's in with it. Katzen drops it off. There's a shot. Katzen trying to get a tip on that. Mouse bounced down to the corner. Trying to dig this free. The Rebels get to it, and they'll get it out of the zone here. Sent ahead along the wing. And now a pass up into the neutral zone. Toronto recovers. It's fired up the boards now. Play's going to be called offside here at the Marlies line, and the faceoff is going to come all the way down into the Rebels zone.
So they get that Willie Moore line back on the ice, and they're just looking to start by winning the faceoff. The Rebels have been the superior team in this series thus far at winning draws, and Marlies looking to change that here right now.
Battle for it here as the puck comes around the boards, and the Rebels Send it ahead. Tipped into the offensive zone, and back for it. Here's Drajewska. He reverses it back for Moore. Moore up into the neutral zone. Over the line come the Marlies. They're offside, and so they'll be forced to tag up. Back behind the net for it. Ahead with it now. Over the line. Here comes Mississauga. That drive to the net didn't work, and now Toronto's coming out the other way. Behind the net, Giusti. Trying to fire that out of the zone, but the Marlies hold it in. Joe's in there trying to dig it free. As is Moore. Now Joe couldn't get it up to the line, and the Rebels will clear. In comes Mississauga, trying to drive the lane. Comes loose, a shot, and that's blocked. The rebound to the side of the net. It's cleared down to the corner. Now a chance in front of the goal, and the one-time shot didn't work. As now Mississauga pushing in the offensive zone. Drop back behind the goal. And down into the corner it comes. They battle for this. Loose puck, and Sabatini will get it ahead for Smith. Smith turns back behind the net. Marley starting a change. That pass out to center is intercepted. Rebels have to wait up for the offside to clear. And now Sabatini has it. Sabatini ahead on the right wing. Flip down into the Rebel zone, but they're turned back now, and Sabatini will have to reset once again. Sends it ahead for Witowski, who tips it in deep. Giusti out to play it. Giusti up the boards. Held in, a chance at the side of the goal, and that one's cleared to the corner. Quickly, a chance out front, and Matthias Stark missed from point-blank range.
A grade A scoring chance from Matthias Stark. He cannot believe that's on the back of the net.
He's got the puck again, though. Matthias Stark trying to drop that one off to the line, but had the pass knocked down. The Rebels cleared ahead. Maxime Moran looking for it. And then he sends it across, but it's taken away. Here come the Marlies with some numbers at the side. The drop back pass. Rebound in front of the goal. And it comes down to the corner. Scrambling there was Giusti. A long shot from the point. Delelche turned aside. Now Stark. Stark holding on to it along the boards, trying to cut through to the middle. Had that picked off. And now Delelche shoots. And that one deflects down low. Witowski chasing after it. Now Martin has it. Drops it off for Delelche. Fires again. And that puck comes loose at the side of the goal. Martin couldn't get it to go, and it's cleared all the way down the ice. Icing against Mississauga.
And that's two lines on the Marlies that really generated rush opportunities and rebound chances while in the offensive zone in terms of the Matthias Stark line and the Jeremy Martin line. And they nearly scored 3 or 4 high danger scoring chances generated in the past minute or so by these Marlies. They get another chance here.
Puck sent back to the line, a long shot gloved and held by Daniel Giusti.
We're seeing Nolan Turnbull. I like to shoot the puck a bit more as this series progresses, and he just puts a quick one on net there, but I imagine they'll get a chance. When he gets the chance, he's going to want to really wind it up and get some more traffic in front of Daniel Giusti.
And over the red line, and now over the blue line come the Rebels. A chance in front of the goal, and that one knocked down. The Marlies rush defense looking solid so far, as this puck's cleared all the way down once again for icing against Mississauga.
And for the Marlboros now, they've really started to play to their strengths, as we emphasized before, and now they really have a chance here to just continue to really work these Rebels and try to dictate the pace of play, as it was all Rebels in the first few minutes. Now it's been all Marlies in the past few minutes.
As Lane won that draw back, but it comes right on goal, and Giusti will hang on once again, so we'll just do it all over. William Moore to take this draw for Toronto. Lev Katzen steps onto the ice for Jason Joe, and Moore wins it back. Lane sends it around the boards, Moore chasing after it, and the Rebels get onto it first, and then they'll clear the zone and try to go back to the attack here. Down into the corner. Up with it comes Toronto. As Katzen sent it across. And now the Marlies will get back into the offensive zone, trying to cut around with the defender there was Moore. But he lost control, and out with it come the Rebels. Along the wing, sent towards the front of the goal. Puck loose there at the side of the net. as it comes free. Up to the line. Here's a shot from the point. That's tipped. They score! Tristan Delisle with the tip in front of the goal, and the Rebels are on the board first.
And Tristan Delisle's great series continues here in Game 3. Just making himself open in front of the net, getting inside positioning, and he earns the redirection. That's all that can beat Jaden Nelson right now. And it's number 40, Tristan Delisle, starting it off for the Rebels.
Just a perfect tip, perfectly positioning his body in front of that net. And now Toronto down by 1 as they trail by 2 in this best of 5 series. Stark will take the draw here, and the Rebels win it back, trying to press their advantage here as it's carried ahead. Delisle, the goal scorer, sends it to the front of the goal, and that one just didn't work. Might have been a break for the Rebels there. Sent ahead, and Joe knocked it away. And now Matthias Stark has it. Stark throws it to the front of the goal. That one didn't connect. Stark has it down in the corner again now. Turning with it and ahead with through the neutral zone come the Rebels. Backhanded in deep. Nelson will step out to play it. Ahead along the boards and through the neutral zone. The Marlies trying to take it ahead. Joe playing the body there, trying to protect the puck, but now Mississauga has it. They try and dig this free. And now Toronto turning back in the neutral zone, looking to find an equalizer here in an all-important Game 3. Juicy behind the net for it. Sends it up the boards. And the Marlies recover possession. Back to the line, and DiCarlo will backhand it up the boards for Drennan. Drennan clears it out. Puck backhanded in. And Toronto trying to go to the attack here. Jeremy Martin shoots, and that one is sent high and wide. On the other side, Turnbull fires, and that one missed the net on the near side.
You notice the velocity in Jeremy Martin's shot. He can just get it off in an instant, and it's very deceptive, and it's difficult for goalies to read when he gets that release off, especially in those areas a lot just off the half wall.
As we get a whistle here, and the face-off will come down in the Rebels' end. The Marlies looking to find their equalizer here after Tristan Delisle opened the scoring with a deft tip in the slot. And now out comes Mississauga onto the near side, carried up through the neutral zone. Turner had it, and he gets it down into the corner. Turning back with it in their own zone. The Marlies take it onto the attack, return to the line here, and up comes Mississauga. Tipped in deep there by Michael Deck. Chasing after it is Gabe Smith. Smith up the boards for Martin, and Martin sent it ahead for Witowski. Witowski's pass didn't connect, and it'll drift all the way down into the corner. Marley's forechecking now. Puck reversed back down behind the net. Along the end boards, just waiting with it, trying to find that pass to the line, and Lev Kadston just unable to hold the zone.
And for the Marlies now, they're just looking to really respond by getting into the middle of the ice, generating more rush opportunities. You're definitely noticing the pace has slowed down a bit for them. The Rebels have gained some momentum again and have tried to almost make this more of a low event game now as the period progresses.
Rebels should be careful though. The Marlies offense is dangerous, and there's plenty of time left in this game. You can't sit back on your heels against this team as it's poked ahead and into the neutral zone. Forced back was Freeman. Reversed along the boards, and the Marlies get to it. It's sent into the corner, now to the front of the goal, and that one's picked off. Trying to cut through the defense there, and now it's turned the other way. A race for it, and a good defensive recovery. Might have saved a breakaway. As that was Curtis Freeman, who's all over the puck. Battle down low for it. Into the corner, and now it's sent around the boards. Lane chasing after it, but the Rebels get to it first, and they get it out to center. On to the attack comes Mississauga by himself here as the Rebels were changing. And now down it comes to the corner, and the Marlies clear it up the boards. Now Matthias Stark. Stark shoots, and that one was blocked as Turner got in the way of it. Now Stark has it again, but he lost it behind the goal, and Mississauga, once again, gets the quick clear. Sent in deep, DiCarlo after it, turning back, but he's checked, and Mississauga will try and establish their cycle here, but it's cleared out by Toronto. Onto the attack is Joe. Joe chips it down to the corner. Big hit down behind the goal there as the Marlies trying to set a physical tone. Here's Matthias Stark turning in the corner with it. Stops up. Stark, nice move, but he had it picked off as he tried to dance his way through the Mississauga defense. Now Stark in front of the goal! And somehow Matthias Stark was turned aside on that point-blank chance.
Make that 2 in this period for Matthias Stark, where he can't believe that did not go in the net. Coming off an insane attempt, showcasing his puck handling skills, was unable to get that through, but then put himself in the right area and the right position and just wasn't able to go beat blocker side on goaltender Daniel Giusti.
As the Rebels get it back down into the offensive zone. Behind the net, Marlies have some time here to get started on the attack. Now it's carried into the offensive zone. William Moore with a shot. The rebound at the side of the goal. Taken away by the Rebels, and they'll clear it to the line, but not out. Poked back in here. The Rebels will get another chance to clear, and this time they get it out to center. Flip down into the corner, and Jaden Nelson will step out to play it. Onto the attack. Come the Marlboros, sorry, but it's picked off in the neutral zone. Mississauga will turn the Marlies back as offside called to the line. Just over a minute to go here in the first period.
For the Marlies now, they've been getting depth contributions from their lineup, and the Stars have shown up as well, more so in this game in terms of just their 5-on-5 play. For the Rebels, it's been generally quiet, and they need more from all players on the ice, just trying to get back to how they were in the opening minutes of this game 3 and just trying to really hem the Marlies in their own zone, because now they're playing without the puck a lot.
Sabatini holds the zone and sends it down into the corner. Sent to the front of the goal, but that pass didn't connect. Here's Drennan. Drennan reverses it back down low. Moore works his way out of the corner. He spins and shoots. That one didn't get through to the net. Smith fires a shot that was blocked, and now Sabatini tries to get one on goal, and that one took a couple of bounces on the way, but hit Giusti. Puck flipped all the way down, no icing called. 20 seconds to go here, and maybe one last rush attack for Toronto. But they're turned back at center, and now in on the attack. Dying seconds. Puck down in the corner. Rebels will try to keep it there for as long as they can. They get it out, and they'll flip it all the way down the ice. No icing on the play as Drajewska. A reverse hit, but it looks like he might be called for this.
Yeah, that was definitely an awkward collision there. The player fell down backwards, and it appears to be okay as we have a bit of a scrum post-whistle, and I believe that also was the conclusion of the first period. So now we'll see if any penalties get called heading into the second.
Yeah, the official's arm was up after the Drajewska stepped into the pursuing Rebel, so it looks like the Rebels will be on the power play to start period number 2, but we'll see how it all sorts out. And if you're on the Marlboros bench, what are you saying to these players to try and get them fired up for this second period?
Just keep building off what you were working with in the first period, and don't try to focus on playing mistake-free hockey. Just try to play to your strengths. Yes, you do not want to give up critical errors and defensive zone turnovers, but you need to be willing to make a risk at this point because you need to generate offense. They've had difficulty beating goaltender Daniel Giusti. Only 3 goals through 7 periods at this moment in the second-round playoff series. That needs to change, and they need that from all throughout their lineup. Matthias Stark is doing everything he can. We need to see the likes of William Moore. We need to see the likes of Jeremy Martin, and even some players from their back end, Nolan Turnbull, Luke Drajewska. These are the guys that are going to help them really progress further here in the second round playoffs, so they even have a chance of staying alive.
And what about for the Rebels? How are you trying to keep this team motivated to finish off this series here in Game 3?
Well, for them, they don't want to get used to trying to play safe hockey throughout these final 2 periods. Ethan Chada wasn't the most noticeable player on the ice in that period, and we know that he likes to play a two-way game and can handle those minutes. So I'll be curious to see what he's like moving forward, and just generally the whole team structure heading into these final 30 minutes.
It will be Ethan Chada taking the face-off as we remain 5-on-5 for the start of this second period, and the Rebels win the face-off and drop it back into their own zone. Long pass ahead, intercepted, and Matthias Stark's got the puck. Stark lost it in the neutral zone, and now it's onto the stick of Tissier. Kale Tissier on the attack. He fires it into the corner, and now it's sent in front of the goal as the Rebels trying to double their lead here. And out comes Toronto. Maybe an odd man rush here. Carried up through center. Here comes Matthias Stark, and he's forced down into the corner. A good recovery defensively there from Mississauga. Stark sends it around the boards, looking for Witowski as they battle for it down low. Witowski trying to dive after this puck, and he backhands it into the corner, but it's picked off, and the Rebels fire it into the zone. Jaden Nelson steps out to play it, and he leaves it there for Delelche. Delelche drops it off, and now it's sent ahead and all the way down, and evades to William Moore as icing called against Toronto.
For the Rebels now, they just get to try to set up formation in the offensive zone, aim to win that face-off, get traffic in front of Jaden Nelson, and try to even extend this lead perhaps. And they got the Tyler Milocevic out there as well with Oliver Turner, two players that can handle the puck in the offensive zone and can really move it as well to the forwards.
Back behind the net for it, and the Marlies sent ahead by Sabatini. Over the line. Here's a try on the backhand from Moore, but he flung that high and wide. A shot from the line on the rebound. Comes loose in front of the goal, and they jam away for it. Sabatini knocked it down at the line. And now onto the attack comes Mississauga. Over the red line, sent towards the front of the goal, and unable to get a stick on that one was Michael Deck. And now Toronto comes away with it. Up the boards, and Caterin couldn't hang on to that one. But now he's got a chance as the puck comes loose. Caterin shoots, and he missed the net. The rebound to the side of the goal, and he couldn't jam that home. Caterin still with it. Sends it up to the line. A long shot from Smith, and that's blocked. And DiCarlo will have to skate back after it. Here's DiCarlo up ahead for Smith. Smith is checked, but he drops it back to DiCarlo. Returns it to his defense partner, Smith. Slowly starting things up with it, and it's tipped into the offensive zone by Toronto, racing onto it. Now a chance at the side of the goal, and that one didn't connect. Down low, a big hit as Toronto continues to try and play a physical game at the line. Here's Turnbull, he shoots, and that one knocked down and held by Giusti.
After a Rebel blew a tire in the defensive zone, it was Joseph Caterin who generated a grade A scoring chance, even trying to go between the legs on the rebound opportunity, but was unable to keep that in. But good on the Marlies. They just kept pressuring, and now they generate another offensive zone face-off. Let's see what they can make of it.
Lane gets it in the corner. As they battle for it here. Sent up towards the line. A long shot from the point, turned aside, and the rebound comes down to the corner. Jeremy Martin digging in for it here, as Giusti will grab this one at the side of the net and hang on for another offensive zone face-off for Toronto.
Giusti just hugging his post tight there on that sequence, did not budge one bit. And as we've mentioned, he's just been fantastic in this series thus far in terms of really just tracking pucks, and his crease movements as well. Those have been the main standouts for Daniel Giusti.
As this puck trickles all the way out into the neutral zone off that face-off. And now Lane will send it in deep. Stepping out for it was Giusti. He'll leave it there for his defender, and now the Marlies have it in the corner. Stark down low behind the net, steps in to help his teammate out. As there's a player taken down hard along the end boards. This is going to be a penalty against Mississauga. They still try and dig it free, and now the whistle goes. So just over 3 minutes gone in this second period, and the Toronto Marlies will get their first power play of the game.
William Moore was taken down behind the net as he had won the puck battle, so the Rebels player will be heading off into the penalty box, and it's now the first power play chance for the Marlies in this game, and they're looking to capitalize here with some of the players like Jeremy Martin and William Moore out there on the ice.
Great opportunity for Toronto to tie the game here, but it's quickly cleared by Mississauga. And the Marlies will have to chase back after it as William Moore picks it up and gets things going and sending it ahead for Lev Katzen. Here's Lev Katzen with a head of steam, sending it ahead. Got it to Aiden Lane. Now at the line. Here's a shot from Moore. Turned aside. The rebound to the side of the goal. Katzen scores! It's Lev Katzen who's tied the game for Toronto.
And Lev Katzen there picks up the rebound on his backhand after the initial Drajewska shot. That's quick puck movement. That's utilizing the flanks to your best ability. And suddenly we have a tied game here in the second period as number 33, Lev Katzen, who's come through in big moments for the Marlies in this series, been one of their lone contributors offensively, and he gets it done in game 3.
And now a tie game here. Still early in the second period, and we've got plenty of exciting action to come at Westwood Arena as the Rebels win the puck back. Caterin chasing after it, and GTHL couldn't get a stick on that pass. Comes all the way down, no icing on the play. Here's Sabatini sending it around the boards. Now it's cleared out towards the line, but the Rebels force it back. With time here, the Marlies get it up the center. And they'll try and chip it in deep as that puck ramped up out of play, so we get a whistle, and the faceoff will come in the neutral zone.
And for the Marlies, they have to continue to build off this momentum and just keep going as much as they can in terms of even carrying on this momentum at 5-on-5. They get the power play goal. Now it's just about going back to even strength, no matter who's on the ice, and just trying to force turnovers and create odd man attacks and rushes, and just try to do whatever you can as we're back on the ice here. And we see the Caterin line on, just dumping it in. Initial shot by Turnbull, and it was cleared out by Daniel Giusti as they get another shift in the offensive zone.
Matthias Stark has it behind the goal now, looking to give the Marlies their first lead. Now Turnbull shoots, and that one didn't get through to the net. Lots of bodies in front here for Toronto as that long shot is gloved by Giusti, and he'll hang on.
And once again, that's a good response there by Daniel Giusti. He allowed a rebound opportunity that ultimately Katzen scored on, but this time he just is very swift, makes sure there's no rebound chance for any Toronto Marlie nearby.
Toronto now with some momentum, trying to push these Rebels and take the lead in this hockey game. As the puck comes around the boards, a chance at the side of the goal, the backhand try! And a great save made by Daniel Giusti as loose in front of the goal was Cooper Drennan.
And this is what we're talking about. The Marlies are forcing the Rebels to create turnovers in high-pressure situations. And it's Cooper Drennan, who just drives himself right to the front of the net on a forehand opportunity. But Giusti once again stops him point blank.
Into the corner it comes as the Marlies get it free. A chance at the side of the goal. They jam away for it. It's loose in the crease. And Daniel Giusti hangs on again.
And the mindset of these Toronto Marlies right now is to drive to the net. And overall, you saw that on that play. It looked like it was Witowski who went to his backhand and just tried to shovel that in there. And heavy traffic in front of him, as it looked like the net actually came off its moorings there momentarily. But we're back for the offensive zone draw.
As it comes down behind the net, Drennan, who just had that scoring chance, takes his man down. A little bit of a retaliatory push there as the puck comes behind the net. Drennan still taking a beating in front of that. Moore fires, and Giusti hangs on to that one.
Yeah, lots of shoves coming Cooper Drennan's way, but that's just a commodity of the play style that he likes to do in terms of being a pest to play against, and he's very tough, and overall he gets under the opposite team's skin, and that's what you want to see, especially in a situation like this, in a tied game where the Marlies could be eliminated. Having a guy like Cooper Drennan on your side certainly helps.
As Katzen, the goal scorer, gets the puck off the draw, carries it down, Katzen shoots! And that's gloved and held again by Daniel Giusti.
Katzen didn't like what he saw there, but overall, he just decides to fire it on net with a player in front of there for a potential rebound in Jason Joe, but they at least draw another face-off as they battle away for it here.
As Mississauga tries to come away with it, they're turned back at their own blue line, and now the Marlies have it in the corner. Sent out front, Katzen shoots! And that was turned aside. Sent in deep by Drajewska now. Katzen sends it down to the corner. Here's Lane. Around the boards. Martin trying to put pressure on the Rebels on the forecheck, but it's cleared out, and David GTHL will get it to center. Onto the attack, trying to cut through. Nice move to the net! And Jaden Nelson grabs that loose puck.
And it was Tristan Delisle on the rush, bursting through the neutral zone with speed to his backhand, in and out, and overall, Jaden Nelson had to come out of his crease to make that save, as Tristan Delisle, who already has scored in this game, is really feeling it.
And the Rebels will finally get an offensive zone faceoff. Feels like they've been hemmed in their zone for quite a while. Looking to retake the lead of this Game 3. Puck down into the corner as both teams try and dig it loose. Matthias Stark is in there for Toronto, trying to get it free, but the Rebels get onto it first. Smith taking his man to the boards and gaining the puck. And now Toronto's out with it along the wing. Here comes Joseph Katerin trying to cut through to the middle, but he had that knocked off his stick. Mississauga trying to clear their zone. They can't do it. Here's a quick shot, and that one didn't get through to the goal. As now a long pass ahead, and in onto the attack comes Mississauga. That shot just missed, and the rebound. Ooh, watch out there as Jaden Nelson had some trouble with that hot shot off the end boards.
Look out, Jaden Nelson almost blew a tire there as he was trying to track the puck, and overall danger was avoided. There wasn't much traffic in his crease, so he avoided danger in that sequence.
Here's Joe, he shoots, and that puck high and wide, it'll ring all the way back down towards the Marlies zone. Now Joe will try and battle for it here. Mississauga trying to gain some of that offensive zone play time that they haven't had much of since the Marlies tied the game. And now in comes Toronto. It's a 3-on-2. Witowski fires! Glove, save Juicy.
And overall, great work there by Kieran Witowski. It's a 3-on-2. Just elected to put it on net with players heading towards Daniel Juicy's crease. And they get the offensive zone face-off. They're generating rush opportunities. The Marlies have dictated the pace thus far in the second period.
And they'll get a chance to continue to do so with this offensive zone draw. One back towards Turnbull. But the Rebels get the quick clear. Onto the attack comes Mississauga. Driving to the corner, send out front into Châtelet. Couldn't get a stick on that. Now ahead, here's Drennan. Drennan towards the front of the goal, and that pass picked off. Unable to hold the line there was Turnbull. He'll fire it in again. Toronto had to tag up, so the Rebels have some time and space to work with now, as they get a long pass ahead onto the offensive blue line. Along the half wall and then down into the corner. Pass to the front of the goal, a shot! And that one didn't get through to the net. Long stretch pass ahead. Here's a chance. Quick shot high and wide, as it's sent up into the neutral zone. Drajewska sent it across. And it's like down into the Rebel zone once again. Icing called this time. And so with 6:52 to go in the second period, we'll get a whistle and a face-off all the way back in the Marlies zone.
Well, Toronto does have to be careful in their own end. In terms of their breakout passes, they are giving up grade A opportunities in the form of turnovers to Mississauga, who have just been unable to finish on these chances that are being given to them. Because otherwise, this could be 2-1, 3-1 Rebels. But Jaden Nelson has been sharp, has made the critical saves when needed.
Scramble after that face-off, and the Rebels couldn't hold the zone. So now Toronto will try and get back onto the attack. Driving along the left wing, carried to the corner, and that sharp angle shot turned aside. Drajewska at the line. Drajewska sent it across. Delelche shoots! And that's turned aside by Juicy. Around the boards, Drajewska has it at the line, backhands it into the corner. Aiden Lane stepping into his man in the behind the net. And now Lane has it. Lane out into the slot. Carried here by Witowski. Witowski up for Drachewska. He shoots. He missed the net. Down low again. Sent around the boards. Racing onto it here. There's a sharp angle shot as Stark knocks it down. Stark for Delelche with a shot. Gloved and held by Daniel Giusti.
And we're seeing a lot more point shots from the Marlies blue line. And the latest coming from Sebastian Delelche. He had Jeremy Martin in front of the net screening Giusti, but that wasn't enough. As with 5:55 to play in this second period, we are still tied at 1. And the Marlies have the offensive zone faceoff.
Rebels win it, but good recovery from Joseph Caterin racing onto that puck. Stark steps in to support. And now Stark has the puck, trying to protect it from the checking Rebels, but now Mississauga's away. Pass sent ahead, and that's going to drift right on Jaden Nelson, and he'll smother that to get a whistle.
The intensity is really ramping up on both sides. We're seeing a lot more checks being fully finished in terms of the follow-through, and we're seeing a lot more post-whistle scrums as these individual battles between these two top teams continue as the games progress.
One back to the line. Here's Secco. Kyle Secco turns down low and now sends it onto the opposite point. A long shot. Didn't get through to the net. Here's Ethan Chada. He had that bounce over his stick, and now Toronto's out the other way. Onto the attack, Matthias Stark. Caterin at the side of the net. And as that puck drifted on goal, the net knocked off once again in this Rebels end.
Seemed the Rebel got tied up with Jason Zhou as they were skating towards the net, and the net comes off its moorings once again. As we'll see change on both teams' lineup as Willie Moore enters the ice now, really looking to find his groove offensively in this series.
As Aiden Lane sends it into the middle for Witowski. He had that knocked away from him, and the Marlies have to recover on the offside. Behind the net with it. Slowly trying to get things started for Mississauga. Still back behind the net, and that long pass ahead was knocked down in the neutral zone. As the loose puck comes out in front of the goal, and a sudden opportunity for Mississauga doesn't get to go. And it's cleared all the way out past Miuchevich and down the ice, icing against Toronto.
For the Rebels now, it's been one of their better shifts over this second period, and out drawing offensive zone face-off. And just from the hard work along the boards and forcing the Marlies to ice it on that sequence. So let's see what they can do now. Ethan Chada is on the ice with Sean Costigan and the Kyle Secco Oliver Turner deep pair out there in the offensive zone.
Pucks went all the way back down into the Rebels zone, so they'll have to regroup. As their pass out to center, knocked down in the neutral zone. Now to the attack. Here's Aiden Lane. Lane driving into the corner. Sends it down low. Witowski in behind the net trying to get to it. Now the Marlies get it up to the line. Sent back in deep. Moore. Witowski drops it off for Aiden Lane at the side of the net. He couldn't jam that past Giusti. Back into the corner it comes. A chance to get it out in front of the goal. It's loose. They still dig for it. They score! It's Aiden Lane finding the loose puck, and the Marlies have the lead.
And the Toronto Marlboros finally secure a lead once again through hard work. Aiden Lane almost finished off a beautiful scoring chance earlier in this sequence, but he wins the puck battle along the corner, and the puck goes in down low. He gets another chance, and he doesn't miss it on that attempt. Another rebound opportunity, getting past goaltender Jaden Nelson, or rather goaltender Daniel Giusti, and suddenly Toronto has a 2-1 lead.
Both Marlies goals so far coming off rebounds on that right pad side of Daniel Giusti. As now they're back onto the attack, trying to double their lead as it's cleared up towards the line, but the Rebels take it onto the attack. It's Ethan Chada sending it towards the front of the goal, but he had that knocked away. Back with it in their own zone. The Marlies trying to get started again offensively as blowing a tire entering the zone there was Delelche. Down low, and it's up towards the line. Fired right back in deep as Stark chases after it. Here's Matthias Stark at the side of the net, looking for that centering pass. Didn't connect. A long shot from the point now, and that one's blocked as the Rebels come out the other way with it. Flipped in deep, knocking it down there was Nelson. He gets it to Delelche. Ahead, chasing after it is Katerin, trying to get in on the forecheck here. And Joe! Quick shot off that turnover. Just blockered away. Down low, and a chance in front of the net as the Marlies continue to push here, but out the other way. It's Curtis Freeman into the middle, and that pass picked off. Down low, and a chance right out in front of the goal. That one didn't get through to the net. On to the attack again. Here comes Toronto as Katerin lost an edge and went down just inside the blue line as Nelson plays it out. Sabatini looking to get things started. A long stretch pass on the left wing, and that shot blocked as the Marlies continue pushing here late in the second. Puck is along the near side, backhanded down to the corner and flipped out into the neutral zone by Mississauga. And they step over the line, offside called at the Marlboros line.
That was the first rush chance in a bit for these Mississauga Rebels. They just put it on the goal right from coming out of the offensive blue line, but nonetheless, Ethan Chada on the ice now for the red and black as they'll actually have a face-up just outside the offensive blue line and really just trying to play more with the puck. See if they can tie up this game here in the final minutes of this second period.
As the Marlies gain possession, but it's taken right back by the Rebels, and they'll try the right wing to get in deep. Tipped in, and Nelson steps out to play it. It's got to be careful here. He'd had a Rebel on rushing there. Now a chance at the side of the net. That pass came right through the crease. Long shot from the point, deflected into the corner. Toronto wants to escape the zone here. Flipped over the head of Miocic, and icing called with 1.5 minutes to go in the second period.
And the Rebels got Toronto right where they want them, forcing them to just try to clear the puck as fast as they can. And you see Miocic out there. He really likes to walk the blue line, survey his options, and just try to really aim for redirections. So let's see if number 77 will try to play with the puck and not necessarily shoot it right away, but maybe make a couple plays to generate a better shot.
Miocic does make a play. Now he has it at the line. He goes down and does a good job to slow the Marlies down, but they might still have an odd man rush developing here on the right wing to the front of the net. Moore, backhand shot, stopped by Juicy.
That was unbelievable. Aiden Lane spots William Moore in a 2-on-1 situation, and number 16, William Moore, tried to go backhand, forehand through the 5-hole of Juicy, but he somehow comes up with the save. Remember that one, folks, as we always like to say, depending on how the rest of this game goes.
Maybe one extra move there from William Moore, or one move too many. As the Rebels win it back, they look to tie this game up as we approach the final minute, but overskating the puck there. The chance that was in front of the goal at the side of the net now. And Juicy again coming all the way across to make a terrific stop.
And Juicy is the reason why this game is still as close as it is. In terms of his puck tracking, he is on another level right now, and he's allowing the Rebels to stay competitive in this one, despite the fact that the Marlies continue to apply pressure.
Marlies will look to continue to push these Rebels as the puck is down low. Now backhanded up towards the line, but Mississauga comes away with it. Over the attack, crisscross into the middle, and that long shot missed the net wide. Now, Toronto gets it in the neutral zone as Katzen backhands it into the offensive end. Up come the Rebels with it now. Running out of time in this period, but offside called at the line. So we'll get a face-off out at center. Ethan Chada hops over the boards as the Rebels look to their star to get them back on even terms.
A bit of pushing and shoving, post whistle there along the boards as the two players get separated. And there's still enough chance here for Chata. And
as the face-off is going to come just outside the Rebel zone. Final 30 seconds of this period. Onto the attack. Here's Deck trying to throw that in front of the goal. Sorry, that was Tissier. And he has it again out at center. Now 20 seconds for the Rebels to work with. Knocked down in the neutral zone. Onto the attack. Driving in. Nice move. Martin, he shoots! And that was turned aside by Daniel Giusti. Final 10 seconds. One last rush here for Toronto. But they're turned back at center. As the Rebels get it ahead, and they'll try to get one last shot away, sent to the front of the goal, but time runs out here in the second period as it's 2-1 Toronto after 30 minutes.
And for the Marlies, they came down 1-0 after they came to the period down 1-0 after 15 minutes of action. They now score a couple goals, one on even strength, one on the power play, and they have to feel pretty good of themselves. They came into this game down 2-0 in the series, and suddenly there is a light at the end of the tunnel for them in terms of getting back into the series.
And we will be back for period number 3 as the Marlies look to stave off elimination against the Mississauga Rebels. Jaden Ho for Jordan Jacklin and everyone here at the Six Hockey. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to Westwood. The third period between the Toronto Marlboros and the Mississauga Rebels coming up here. The Marlboros holding on to a 2-1 lead as they look to extend the series and their season. The Rebels, on the other hand, looking to put this one away and put themselves in the GTHL finals. Should be an excellent third period here. Right, Jordan?
I agree, Jaden. I'm excited to see what both teams can bring in terms of physicality, in terms of the on-ice product. They're going to lay it all on the line, and for the Marlies, desperation arises as they try to extend this series. Let's see if they can do it.
It's William Moorline going up against Ethan Chata and company. As the third period is away and the Marlies win the draw, flipped up into the offensive zone by Aiden Lane. It's quickly turned back by Michael Deck. Into the corner, the Marlies will get things pointed north. Up ahead and a quick pass off for Katzen, who's got a goal so far. His shoot-in hit a Rebels defender and bounced to his line mate, but now the Rebels are away. Maybe an odd man rush developing here, sent across, but it's just a little out of sync there are the Rebels. Down low, taken away in the corner. Curling towards the front of the goal, and that pass knocked down, and Jaden Nelson will hang on.
Well, the Rebels get the first chance at the game in terms of just being able to generate off the rush, but Jaden Nelson stuck with it, and it's going to be another offensive zone face-off. I'll be curious to see what Ethan Chata can do in this third period as he tries to get his team back in the game.
A bit of a delay on this face-off. Officials talking to goaltender Nelson, make sure he's all set, and now we're away. As the puck is taken away to the front of the goal, a shot scores! Tristan Delisle has doubled down, and the game is tied.
That's unbelievable! Number 40, Tristan Delisle, cuts back and unleashes an incredible shot. Blocker side on goaltender Jaden Nelson, and suddenly we are tied at 2.
Tristan Delisle, with one of the best performances we've seen this playoffs, has made this a tie game, and with just over 14 minutes to go, this is sure to be a thrilling finish. As the Rebels have the puck and it's sent ahead for Freeman. He couldn't control it, and now the Rebels will circle back in their own zone, tucking in behind the net, wrapped around the boards. And now Matthias Stark will drop it off. Sent ahead, and Joe will tip it in deep. Giusti plays it out behind the net. Up the boards, Joe gets to it first, but he lost the handle. And now up through center, here comes Mississauga, looking to retake the lead, and they'll fire it in deep, right on goal, knocked down by Nelson and picked up behind the net by DiCarlo. Anthony DiCarlo. Up onto the far side and sent around the boards. Joe will chase in after it. He's onto it now. Joe down in the corner, battling for possession. Comes down low. It'll come around the boards now, and out comes Mississauga. Knocked down at the line by Matthias Stark, and he'll get it right back in. Once again, Juicy out to play it. Comes loose for Jason Zhou. Zhou battle for it. Comes free, and now the Rebels once again will try and get things pointed in the right direction with speed up the boards. Driving wide. Carried sent into the corner, and now up to the line. Here's Turner. Turner down low along the half wall. Shoots! And that's stopped by Nelson. Rebound comes in behind the goal, and Sabatini will try and get this one free, but unable to clear the zone of the Marlboros, but they get it on the second try.
And it's Michael Deck who creates that rush, surveying his options, drops it back to Turner, but you can see the poise on number 28.
Watch out here, as coming flying in was Maxime Moran, putting lots of pressure on the goaltender, but now out the other way come the Marlies, but a good defensive effort might have saved a breakaway there. Now the Rebels trying to come out the other way in a 2-2 tie. Onto the left wing, and it's sent down low. Nelson knocks it into the corner. Now down low, sent to the front of the net. That one evaded everyone. Out the other way, here comes William Moore. Moore trying to pull that one through. He left it off for his teammate. Carried down into the corner, a centering pass, and that one whipped right through the crease. Coming right back out the other way. Through the neutral zone is Michael Deck. Stops up, and he's tried to send that one to the middle. Just evaded his streaking teammate. Now trying to dive in deep. But the Marlies retake possession. A long stretch pass, and icing called against Toronto.
And finally for Toronto, they see a whistle blow, but now Mississauga gets the offensive zone faceoff. They've responded nicely since scoring that goal. They've just continued the momentum, and they're not just looking to tie it up, they're looking to take the lead, as we now see a referee having a conversation here with Curtis Freeman as the faceoff's at center ice.
Yeah, the refs reverse their call on the icing, so the faceoff has to come all the way back into the neutral zone instead of the Marlies' end. Toronto happy with that call. Rebels certainly disappointed as Lev Katzen sends it in deep. Up ahead on the left wing, Mississauga trying to get the attack started as Toronto regains it behind their goal. Stark sending it up the boards. Turned over though, and now carried around the net. Up to the line. Here's Turner. He shoots. That one's blocked in front of the net. Marlies trying to get up on the counterattack quickly here. Sent out to center. Lev Katzen races onto it. Sends it off onto the right wing. Sent in deep. Katzen racing after it again. Here's Katzen. He's worked over along the boards, and now the Rebels will get it out the other way. Puck's flipped in deep. And as the Rebels try and get the forecheck started, Marlboros clear. It's around the boards, and once again, Juicy out to play it. Now Jason Zhou down for it in the corner. Zhou picks it up, sends it up towards the line. That evades DiCarlo. Look out! And the Rebels are through the neutral zone. Onto the attack, turning at the line. A centering pass, shot! High and wide. Turning in the corner. Now down low with it. Stopping up and now sent up to the line. Here's Braden Van Gelder. He shoots! And that one's turned aside. Caterin racing onto the rebound. Can't clear the zone. A long shot. Knocked down by Nelson. Marlies trying again to clear the rebound, and it's off the glass and out. William Moore trying to step into this one. Moore knocks it down, trying to carry it towards the net front. Now he just forces it down into the corner. A collision down low. Trying to maintain possession. Body sprawling down low as the puck comes behind. Then a wraparound try. They jam away out of the side of the net. And now it comes loose to the boards. Sent up towards the line. Now near side. Krajewska shoots. And he sends that wide, and it'll ring all the way back. Chaos in the Rebels zone. But Mississauga survives.
Yeah, we saw a defensive collapse on both ends of the ice in that latest sequence, and both teams generating high danger scoring chances. And suddenly now the Rebels just trying to settle it down and just play with the puck again and try to generate some more chances of their own.
Onto the attack comes Mississauga. Trying to play it back up towards the line, and now on the near side. Secco sends it down low. Sorry, that was Turner, but now the Marlboros are out the other way. Turned back at their own blue line, though. Battle for it down in the corner. Krajewska working his man over, and whistle goes. We'll see what's called here. There's some serious pushing and shoving down low there, but it doesn't look like anything's going to be called.
You have to be careful at this point. It's a 2-2 game with 9 minutes remaining. You do not want to take an unnecessary penalty at this point because that can cost you the game.
Delelche sends it up the boards, and the Marlies are up into the neutral zone. Turned right back at the blue line once again. Now carrying it into the attack come the Rebels, and it's around the boards. Holding it in the corner is Delelche. Delelche sent it around and out through the neutral zone. Toronto trying to get their attack started, and now the Rebels flipped up the boards by Haslam, but he had that knocked down. Onto the attack. Nice move. A backhand try. Turned aside, and the rebound covered up. A collision in the crease.
Jeremy Martin just crushed Tristan Delisle into the goaltending's net there, knocking the net off its moorings, and there'll be no call on the play, but definitely some shoving there that if it wasn't perhaps a potential elimination game for the Marlies, you would see that getting called, but we'll remain on 5-on-5.
So the Marlies maybe get away with one there as some more chaos in that Rebels end. And off the draw, the Marlboros try and go to the attack, but it's picked off into the offensive zone, driving the lane, backhand towards the front of the net. Nobody was there to bang that home. Near side now, chipped out into the corner. They try and dig this free, and it's picked up, and out the other way comes Toronto. Another pass picked off in the neutral zone. Onto the attack, Chata trying to send that one across. Drjuska picks it up in the corner, and he'll get it out into the center ice area. Puck sent right on Drjuska. He sends a stretch pass out the other way, but it was picked off in the neutral zone. The Marlies were offside, so it just flipped in deep there by Turnbull. Turnbull pinching up along the boards here to try and keep the pressure on the Rebels, but now the other way they come. Driving on the left wing, a sharp angle shot, gloved and held by Jaden Nelson as we're halfway through this third period.
For the Rebels, now they get another offensive zone face-off. Looks like the Ethan Chatelain is on the ice. Braden Van Gelder, one of those trustworthy two-way defensemen, and you notice he likes to try to shoot the puck for rebounds a lot too when he gets the chance. So look out for number 17, just a calming force that they trust to have out there in key situations like this.
As it's flipped ahead, racing onto it, Caterin couldn't get it in to the corner there, and now the Rebels regain possession and they'll get things started. Up ahead, picked off by Caterin at the blue line, but taken right back, and now Michael Deck will flip it into the offensive zone. Neither team really able to establish themselves in either end, as now Deck has to tag up for the offside, and he's going to go off for a change. Up ahead with it, turned over as the Marlies now a chance in front of the goal, a backhand shot. What a save by Nelson!
That's a series-saving stop by Jaden Nelson on that sequence. A defensive turnover in their own end leads to a breakaway against, and they survive on that chance.
Now here comes Jason Joe. He shoots now and deflects quickly off to the corner. Kieran Witowski stepping in support. Joe in there as well, trying to dig this puck free as it comes down to the corner. Witowski gets it loose, trying to backhand it up towards the line. Witowski again lost it, and he'll race after it again, and just hounding on that puck is Kieran Witowski. As the puck now down low in the Marlies' end, as they battle for it along the near side, and the Rebels gain possession first, but stepping into his man there, and Matteo Sabatini gains possession for Toronto. Up the boards with speed, here comes Jeremy Martin, cutting into the middle is Martin, he's taken down. No call coming on the play. Counter-attack quickly from the Rebels with speed up the boards, trying to drive wide, and a good play. Gabe Smith knocking Curtis Freeman off the puck. Down in the corner now. The Rebels with their best chance so far since they tied the game. It's been some tight plays. Now it's sent up along the far side. Through the neutral zone, a long shot. Doesn't get through all the traffic, and now a stretch pass the other way. In come the Marlboros to the front of the net, and that one rings up high and wide. Michael Deck run over by Aiden Lane at the blue line.
Yeah, that was a massive collision there. Definitely a size mismatch. Michael Deck getting crushed there, but he gets right back up and prepared to play defense on this sequence there as it gets back into the Rebel zone.
Flipped in by Delelche, and Juicy tries to play it up the boards. The Marlies hold it in. Delelche now flips it down into the corner. Turnbull in deep. Turnbull trying to fling that toward the front of the net. Puck loose at the side of the goal, and they jam at it. Loose in front, and Juicy snaking out to make that stop and hang on.
Daniel Juicy stalled the traffic in front of him, but nonetheless was able to track the puck, came out of his crease, and was right over top of it. So we'll see a bit of a line change here now with Maxime Morin, a trustworthy defensive unit out there trying to really hold off now as Aiden Lane and the likes of his line stay on the ice.
Quick shot off the draw from Lane. The rebound right there for the taking, but unable to finish it was Lane. Now down in the corner, trying to cut out to the front of the net, turning and shooting is Moore. He scores! Will Moore! The Marlies have the lead!
William Moore, how do you do? Cuts back, didn't like the initial shot, so he just takes one stride backwards and ends up finding the lane he needed. Number 16 has made it 3-2 with 4:24 to go in the third, and the Marlies really have life in this series. They need to hold on.
So now for the Rebels, you're trying to get back into this game and try and put this series away, but these Marlboros just won't die. This one's not over yet, as the Rebels take it onto the attack. And it's flipped ahead, and trying to knock it down was DiCarlo. He'll send it forward. Onto the attack. A quick shot as Matthias Stark found some open ice. He was turned aside. Now it's down in the corner again. To the line. A long shot. Rebound loose. Cleared away quickly by Mississauga. Onto the counterattack. Trying to tie the game once again. That shot turned aside by Jaden Nelson. On the near side, here comes Stark. Matthias Stark and his shot. Cued off the end of his stick. And it's flipped down into the corner. Far side. Sabatini in there battling for it. Matthias Stark comes in to support. As we're into the final 4 minutes. The Marlies trying desperately to hang on as that puck flips up and out of play.
We mentioned the Stars needed to be the difference maker, and William Moore, when his team needed him the most, was able to prevail in that moment. So now I'll be curious to see how the Stars on the Mississauga Rebels respond. How does an Ethan Chada respond? How does Tristan Delisle respond? He already has 2 in this game. I'll be curious to see what those players do.
Puck along the end boards, a hard collision and a race for it now. Trying to get it up the boards. Sabatini got it free, and now Smith will send it up the boards. Out into the neutral area, and Rebels forced back to their own zone. Pushing for the equalizer now. Sent ahead. It's a 2-on-1. Chada diving after it, but a good defensive recovery made there, and Gabe Smith slows things down. Sent in deep again by Toronto. They're happy to keep the puck in the Rebels' end for as long as possible now. A collision down low and a penalty upcoming. And this is going to go against Toronto.
And that's an untimely penalty to take in this situation. And it looks like it's going to be Jeremy Martin heading to the penalty box. We had saw him get into some physical altercations early in this third period. So this is definitely a teaching moment for number 19. And ultimately, he cost his team potentially. It's up to Toronto now to respond defensively and kill off this penalty.
2:42 to go. The next 2 minutes, if or less, will be 5-on-4. As the scramble on the draws, one to the line for a long shot. Blocked, rebound, loose. Jaden Nelson grabs that.
And lots of traffic in front of Jaden Nelson in that sequence, but he follows through and has swift crease movement and really takes away any lane possible on that initial shot. But we'll be curious to see what they drop in this sequence. Now we see Mikel Tissier. There's a one-time option.
On the draw, the Rebels win it back, and their power play gets set up now at the line. Sent off for Delisle. Tristan Delisle steps into the middle, off to the corner. Nice move to the net. Delisle shoots. Rebound. Comes loose. Nelson way out of his crease. Puck into the corner. Nelson recovers. Loose to the side of the goal. Out front. Stepping in. Delisle shoots. And he's sent it high and wide. Up to the line. Here's Secco. Across. Now it's Tissier at the line. Down into the corner. Walking up the line. Back to Tissier. Tissier shoots. Stopped and held by Jaden Nelson.
And it's a miraculous effort that puck did not end up in the back of the net. Jaden Nelson taking a risk, but it pays off. And he's able to save the follow-up shot by Tristan Delisle, who was really just trying to be patient and find that open lane, but it never came through, and chaos and calamity ensue after that.
So under 2 minutes to play now. The Marlies desperately trying to force game 4. The Rebels desperately trying to force overtime. Carried around the boards. Up to the line. Whistle goes. And the net. Looks like it came off again. And it's on that right-hand side that this net just can't seem to stay on its pegs. And for the Marlies, they'll take it a chance to reset. The Rebels had possession there, so now it's another face-off.
And they did actually make some substitutions as a result of that, so a bit of a fortunate break.
Chada will take the draw. 1:51 to go. The Marlies win it. Down into the corner. Smith chasing after it. Comes loose, and it'll be cleared up and over the glass, but it deflected.
And they're lucky that happened, but nonetheless, it's Gabe Smith and Luke Jadruska out there. In terms of a defensive situation, both players can handle those minutes shorthanded, and it's more so their ability just to even skate the puck out with possession, even be a shorthanded threat, and nonetheless use their speed to their advantage to getting pucks out into the other end while they're shorthanded.
Net empty for Mississauga. It's 6-on-4. As the puck comes loose, right to the front of the goal, a backhand try, they jam at it to the side of the net, and somehow Jaden Nelson kept it out. At the line now, Tissier down low, back up top. Tissier across, and that just bounced off the stick, cleared for the empty net, all the way down, and that one drifts wide. Near miss for Toronto as Chada tips it ahead. Turned back in the neutral zone. The Rebels back onto the attack here. 1:10 to go, 70 seconds left to play here. As the puck comes down to the corner, up to the line. Tissier walks the line, tried to get that shot away. It was blocked, flipped for the empty net. Once again, down the ice it goes. Racing onto it is Drajewska. He can't get it to go. Penalty upcoming, and it's against Mississauga.
And wow, they're going to definitely have a bit of an argument there, as Lev Katzen was trying to get the empty net goal, but we'll see what ultimately ensues here. So the ref did blow the whistle.
I think Lev Katzen is arguing for a penalty shot. He was pretty much in alone racing onto that, but
it's definitely some sort of conversation happening right now. And it does appear it is Mikhail Tissier heading to the penalty box.
And for Tissier, there's not much else you could have expected him to do. He's been on the ice for so long, just quarterbacking that Rebels power play, but he was out of gas when he had to race back towards the empty net. Forced to take a penalty, saved a goal, but now, with 54 seconds to go, it's 4-on-4, and the Rebels have their backs against the wall.
Yeah, there's going to be 11 seconds of 4-on-4 potentially, and then it's going to be the Marlies who will get the power play opportunity. So for the Rebels, they're just going to try to make it 5-on-5 by getting into the offensive end and just do whatever they can at even strength at that point to just try to score and perhaps extend this series. And for the Marlies, they want to do whatever they can in terms of blocking shots, getting in front of the lanes, just playing in the opposite end of the ice, especially with this advantage. Make it so that it won't be 5-on-5. Make it so it has to be 5-on-4 so that you can secure this Game 3 victory.
The Rebels, take their timeout. And now we're back onto the ice. Michael Deck, Ethan Chada, Oliver Turner, and Tristan Delisle out there for Mississauga. Will Moore, Gabe Smith, Lev Katzen, Luke Drajewska. The 4 for Toronto. 1 minute of action remaining here at Westwood Arena. Scramble on the draw, and the Rebels have won it. Keep an eye on Juicy now. Slowly starting up with it. Good forecheck there from the Marlboros. Net empty now. As now it's taken in. Lev Katzen with an empty cage. And it's blocked. Loose puck in behind the net. Katzen still trying to get it towards the front of the goal. A great defensive play there. Saved a goal. It's 5-on-5 now with the empty net. Somehow it still stays out. Terrific defense here from the Rebels. Now another chance for the empty cage. Blocked again. And now the Rebels finally get things pointed up in the right direction. Turned over at the blue line. Cutting into the middle. A chance in front of the net. Stopped by Nelson. 7 seconds remain.
And once again, that's unbelievable. There are at least 3 shots in the other end by the Toronto Marlies. Blocked point blank by the Rebels, and now with 7 seconds left, they get to drop a face-off. You know Ethan Chada's going to be out there, Tristan Delisle, Kyle Secco, Oliver Turner. That's enough time to quickly do whatever you can to get the puck on net and just jam away at it. Let's see what can happen.
7.7 on the clock. It's 5-on-5. The empty net for Mississauga. Toronto trying to figure out who they want on the ice here for this crucial face-off. Tie up on the draw. They try to dig it free. A shot to the net. Nelson, it's behind him. It's in. The Rebels have tied it. Tristan Delisle has the hat trick in Game 3. The Rebels tie it. We're going to overtime. 2.2 seconds on the clock. Can you believe what we just saw?
We are speechless here. Tristan Delisle, the hat trick goal. 2.2, just able to find it. And it was Jaden Nelson who was unable to track the puck in that one specific moment. And you have to wonder what the Marlies are thinking in this instance. But for them, just go to overtime at this point. You still have the power play, and you can still win this game. You can't lose hope.
What a game we've seen here tonight as the Rebels win the face-off, and we're off to overtime at Westwood Arena. What a treat we've had here.
And the crowd at Westwood certainly applauding on their feet. What a game we've been attested to today. But nonetheless, now everybody gets a quick breather before 3-on-3 overtime remains. And it will actually be 4-on-3 for Toronto for 1 minute and 7 seconds. And this will be fascinating. We've said the stars have definitely shown up on both sides. In terms of William Moore stepping up with a key goal late to give the Marlies the lead, and Tristan Delisle scoring 3 in all different situations. So this will be fascinating.
And let's talk about that defense from the Mississauga Rebels in the final minute. No quit at all. 3 shots at the empty net for Toronto, blocked point blank to keep it a 1-goal game before Tristan Delisle completes his hat trick with an unbelievable goal.
Yeah, I believe it was Oliver Turner who went right down on his knee to block that potential 3-on-1 sequence that was coming back the other way. And if that goes in, the game's over. But nonetheless, making that effort in that moment is what's led us to here. And we got to go back the other way. And we'll now see what happens here. More magical moments potentially on the way.
So it's 4-on-3. The Marlies with the power play in the biggest moment of the season so far, trying to keep their GTHL playoff hopes alive. And so they send out William Moore, Lev Katzen, it looks like.
Luke Jadruska's out there as well, quarterbacking this power play.
And the Rebels will try to shut down this power play. They have Oliver Turner, who made that terrific stop on the empty net to try and kill off the penalty, and then they'll try and go to the attack and put this series to bed. Overtime in Game 3 of Round 2 of the GTHL playoffs is underway as the Marlboros win it back to Luke Drajewska. Here comes Drajewska. Up into the middle. Carried up and dropped off for Will Moore. He's got a goal already. Moore drops it off for Drajewska. Walking the line. Drajewska to Moore. To the front of the net. Turned aside. Moore gets his own rebound. Up to the line for Drajewska. Drajewska back to Moore. Moore in the circle. Sends it across. Aiden Lane. Turned aside by Juicy. Rebound loose into the middle. They score! Will Moore! Game winner!
And William Moore has doubled down to extend the season of the Toronto Marlboros. They'll take the game 4-3 at Westwood Arena in overtime. And it's on the back of William Moore, a superstar in the making.
What a game that we've seen here. Back and forth. A goal with 2.2 seconds remaining to tie the game. And it's William Moore, the hero for the Toronto Marlboros. And there will be a Game 4.
And overall, you have to think momentum has now swung in the way of the Toronto Marlies. Remember, the Rebels took that costly penalty when they really just had to, because they had given up that chance empty net, in terms of having an empty net. So this will be fascinating to see how it develops, but we've got a series.
And what a series we have. That might be the game of the playoffs. That may be the game of the season. So far, the Marlboros take it 4-3. So, we will be back for Game 4. Stay tuned on the 6 Hockey. For Jordan Jacklin, I'm Jaden O, and we'll see you next time.